quiz component, let's fix it up a little bit. Now, in the quiz component, we might have saying that this is H1 quiz. Right, there we go. We are at a quiz. And we need to go fetch the questions for that quiz, right? And just like we had created a service for the quizzes, we need a service also for the questions, right? So I'm just going to copy this and paste it, and I'm going to call it quiz service client, because it's going to be very, very similar, right? I'm going to rename this. So this is the quiz service client, which is going to retrieve all the questions. So find questions for quiz, right? And we are going to take the quiz ID, and this is going to be the ID of the quiz, right? Inject it in here. So the quiz ID, right, followed by what, I forget what the URL is. So these are the quizzes, and then we can ask for the questions like that, right? So quizzes, the ID, and then the questions. So quizzes, the ID, and then the questions will retrieve the different questions for a given quiz. Once we have that implemented, let's not forget that it needs to be declared in the module, and this is the brand new quiz service client. There it is. So that now the quiz component, where is it? Quiz component can ask for that service. Well, we'll need both things. We'll need first a service. There it is, private service, and this is the quiz service client. But we'll also need the, not only will we need that service to make the call, but we'll also need the ID of the question, right? And for that, right, we need to parse it out from the path. So for that, we'll need the route service, right? So this will be the activated route service, so that we can retrieve the quiz ID, maybe copy it in a local variable, quiz ID, and initialize it to empty string, right? And then fetch the questions. And the questions, right, the questions are just going to be an empty array for now. And we're going to fetch, when we have the quiz ID, we're going to be able to fetch the questions. So first, let's fetch the quiz ID. For that, we're going to use the route. We're going to grab the parameters, and once we have the parameters, we can retrieve the quiz ID from the parameters. So this is params, and there's I forgot what I called it in the route. In the route, I believe I call it QID. Yeah, it's QID. So grab the QID. Once we have the QID, wait a minute, do we want a dot notation, maybe? I guess, yeah. Once we have the quiz ID, now we can use the service, right, to go fetch the questions for the quiz. We're going to pass the quiz ID. Once we have that, once we have the questions, we can pass it to the questions. Okay, there we go. Now the questions, I forget what the data is. The questions, okay, it has a title. So we can print out the title, right? In the HTML, we can iterate over them. We can say, UL, LI, NG4, NG4. Let question of questions, and display maybe the title of the question, question.title. Let's see. If we refresh, it doesn't look like it's working. Let's see what is wrong. Do we get an error? Console. Access, yada, 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 API quizzes, 1, 2, 3 questions from origin, yada, 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 4200. Blocked by, did I misspell this? API quizzes. Let's see, quiz service, localhost. I thought I copied it straight from the, let's see, maybe not. Let me copy that. So that's correct, right? Oops. That's correct. Let's see. Is the URL wrong? No, looks right, right? QID, questions, and what is the error that's giving me? Inspect, network, questions, headers, localhost 3000, API quizzes, questions. What is wrong with that? Let me copy it. Let's paste it. That looks right. But this is saying that it failed. Why are you failing? Refer localhost. Refer, so it's coming from there, yeah. And it's going to localhost 3000 API quizzes. Let's look at the server. Let's see if the server is complaining about something. Oh, the server's not running. Well, no, this says that it's running. Let's see, let's run it. Well, no, actually, no, we hit it with a request. We hit it with a request, so it is running, definitely running. Why are you not seeing it though? We are, yes. Yes, and we do, don't we? Oh, yeah, yes. What it does is that it grabs that data, it puts it in the body, formatted as a string, which as a JSON string. And here, what we're saying is that grab from the JSON, the body that contains JSON, and then convert it from a string back into JSON. That's what's that doing. Response JSON. And what is the component doing? It's grabbing this. That's service, QID. So that's working because we are passing the ID. Source. Let's see if we could step through this. Let's see. We are in the quiz component. Let's put a breakpoint right here. Let's refresh. We're there. QID, there it is. 1, 2, 3. This QID, very good. We're going to step in. That's the URL. That is the URL. And if we go here and can we put a breakpoint there? Continue. Back here. Questions. It's not. Colons? Oh, you mean here? No, that's my lint, which is pretty aggressive. Checking my syntax. Continue 3. It says CORS. Well, oh, we never added the CORS. Actually, we never did add CORS. But that's weird because over here it wasn't complaining. Like here's not complaining. Right? We go to the network and we're getting quizzes, and it's just dandy, happy to give me back the data, but not the other one. Well, let me configure CORS just on the server just to make sure. Let's go to server and let's add CORS. I believe I have it in my cheat sheet here, how to configure the server for CORS. There it is. So I'm going to grab this and I'm going to paste it right here before the controller, before anybody. Okay, let's do that. And let's restart the server. Let's try it out. Let's go back here. Okay, refresh. Okay, let's click on quiz 1. Let's continue questions. And did it do the console? Okay, this time around it didn't complain. All right, there it is. So, okay, yeah, it was CORS. It was definitely CORS. Let me remove the... Not quite sure why it was not complaining before, and now it is. If we go back and go into a different quiz, notice we get different questions. We have different quizzes for each one. All right, let's see. Let's keep going.